Well, hello and welcome to this week's episode of On Deck with Avoya, your weekly travel update. I'm your host, Chris Green, Director of Network Expansion for Avoya Travel, and we've got a great show planned for you today. And we're so excited to launch into May because May is traditionally Travel Advisor Appreciation Month. And we just couldn't wait. We decided to jump in a week early and get a head start as we welcome Amy Lunt, owner of Fine Outing, an independent agency in the Avoya Network, to be this week's Meet the Network guest. Amy has a great story to tell. She's been in the industry a few years. She came in right at the beginning of COVID. And wow, what a as just it's great to watch agents kind of slowly building their agency up for great success in the long run. We can't wait to share Amy's story here in just a couple of minutes. After the interview with Amy, we're going to touch base on all of the resources that we normally do, including our current promotions of the Avoya Travel Academy, the exclusive resources available to those in the Avoya Network, our social media pages, and of course, your points of contact, because the show is all about you, those that watch. We're hoping to inspire. We're hoping to at least cause you to go, think about that for a second. I might want to have a conversation with these Avoya travel people and find out more details about what they're talking about, whether it's our live leads or whether it's our marketing resource center, or maybe it's just all the ways that we help connect agents and the information they need so that their clients can go on these amazing vacations. But we'll certainly make sure you have all the ways to reach out. But now, so excited for our exclusive Meet the Network interview this week. And I'm always excited to tell these stories and hear firsthand the decision-making process that someone takes to join the Avoya Network. So please help me welcome my featured Meet the Network guest this week for On Deck with Avoya, Amy Lunt, again, owner of Fine Outing, an independent agency in the Avoya Network. Amy, so great to have you on the show today.
Thanks, Chris. It's great to be here.
Amy, before we get too far into our interview, can you tell our viewers a little bit about yourself, kind of your background, and how you ended up in the travel business and with Avoya Travel and the Avoya Network?
Sure. I have four kids, and I was a stay-at-home mom for um, many years to raise them. And then when my youngest was in high school, I started thinking I should figure out what the next chapter and challenge in my life is going to be. And so my husband had heard about Avoya and how they offer leads and a lot of training and help and that they're just a highly rated network. And so we looked into it, and here I am.
I think you sell yourself short because I was looking at your background too, and I think as you were raising your kids, you were also helping because your husband's an entrepreneur as well, right? Small business owner, and so you were definitely, I'm thinking, involved there, probably more than you're giving yourself credit for.
Well, yes, we've had a lot of different businesses over the years, and yeah, we have some background in that, and so that for sure has helped.
Well, good. So I have to ask, because again, I was looking at your file earlier, and you started the process to join the Avoya Network in March of 2020. And
Mhm.
while that's just a date on a calendar, when you think back of where we were, I mean, the whole world was just in the process of changing and everybody locking down, and you're deciding to help send people on vacations. Talk to me a little bit about the decision-making process and what it was like to kind of start to build a business at that moment for this post-pandemic world that now we're in.
Yeah, it was kind of funny timing, but it was just kind of when I was ready. And so, and of course, no one thought the pandemic would last as long as it did. But I was able to spend a lot of time, going through Avoya University, and then a lot of the supplier training, and just, I didn't have a lot of expectations, of course, while people were in lockdown to book anybody, but I was able to do a lot of training. And then, I was also so grateful as I did start booking people, and then, I did have to rebook a few, but I just thought of all the agents who had, lots and lots of clients that they had to then rebook and cancel and rebook. Anyway, it was a crazy time, but it wasn't as crazy. It didn't feel like for me because I didn't have a bunch of clients that I was trying to help at the time.
Because that can be an advantage for you. And sometimes, like, I think those that were in the industry for years before, the COVID issues and now after would say that the industry has certainly changed much, but you don't know what you didn't know because you hadn't been part of it already. So you get to kind of learn what's going to happen for the world that we're now living in. So that has to be a bit of an advantage, I would think.
Yes, yeah, I feel like it has been. It's been a good a good thing. I feel like I didn't have to relearn some things that, yeah, agents who have been in the industry a long time have had to figure out.
So, Amy, talk to me a little bit about your agency, a fine outing special, and what kind of clients you're normally working with, and what your thought process is behind your agency.
Well, I mostly book, friends and family and then referrals and um it's a lot of my clients I feel like know where they want to go and they know what they want to go see and do, but they just need help with the details and they need some guidance and some help and then I really love booking like multi-generational families. And that's really fun when um, I've been able to do that and get a whole big family on a cruise or to an all inclusive. And then they just have, such a great time uh, spending time together and making memories together. And then, yeah, it's so fun when they come back to hear about that. And that's probably what I love to do the most is big, multi-generation family trips.
Those can be tricky though, right? Because when you're qualifying people in a multi-generational kind of situation, you have to make sure that the younger part of the multi-generational has the kind of activities that they want to do, while at the same
Yes.
time make sure the older end of the multi-generational, normally the people that are paying for a lot of the trip,
Yeah.
are also getting the experience that they want out of it as well, right?
Yes, definitely. Um, and yeah, it can be tricky, but cruises there's a lot of cruise lines that are great for that. And then all inclusives too are great because you don't have to worry about the food and a lot of the activities are included and people can kind of do stuff as they want to, but then you always have dinner time or whatever that you can gather the whole group together. And so anyway, it's fun, but yes, it does have its challenges sometimes.
Now that you've been with the Avoya Network for like 4 years now, are there certain resources, Amy, that you find that you utilize in your agency to help it run smoother that are offered exclusively by Avoya Travel? And maybe you could jump into a few of those that you find useful.
Yeah, well, of course, Agent Power, the booking engine and just having that to stay organized and all the information in the trip record and things, that's very helpful. I feel like there's so much support um and people I can reach out to within the network for help and things, and that helps things stay organized. And then there's all sorts of great training that I've been fortunate to be part of, as far as boot camps or immersion trips, land forum, and of course conference is a great way to meet different supplier um, business development managers and then people with Avoya and then the independent IAs and ILAs. It's been great.
It's a lot of different ways to have those light bulb moments because
Yeah.
sometimes it's just a conversation that you didn't even see coming with another independent agency owner, and you're like, "Oh my goodness," you know what I mean? My you just opened my whole world to a whole different avenue. Or sometimes it's a conversation with somebody like a Laura Burke from the early success team, or an Ed Henderson, one of the sales coaches, or somebody from Danny DeBrot's brand sales team, or just meeting Carrie from support. You're able to put a face to a name and all of those kind of things that really help kind of propel your business forward. So it's great to hear that you're utilizing all of those great resources. What about personal traits, Amy? What kind of traits do you think you have that make you a great travel professional? And what kind of traits do you aspire to have that you think make you a great travel professional as well?
Well, I like to stay very organized, and that is one thing I feel like helps me a lot. I try to stay on top of everything and what's coming next and what needs to be decided next or paid for next or whatever. And so that I feel like is one of my strengths. And then I love to help people. I love hearing about their uh, vacation adventures, and I love helping them get to places they haven't seen and haven't been to, but dream about going to. And so um, that is helpful. I like to meet different people and get to know different people in different stages and uh, places in life. And so that has been really a fun part of this job, is that you just get to meet a lot of different people.
Sometimes we get caught up when we're trying to make a sale with all of these ideas of, oh, I've got to employ this sales technique and I'm trying to
Yeah.
figure out this way to close it. And sometimes, and I think you probably have it because I can kind of hear that sparkle in your voice, that just being a genuine person, just being a good listener, just honestly caring, it's a sales technique that you can't teach somebody, but it's inherent to them. And I bet you that serves you pretty well in your agency, would be my guess.
Well, thanks. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I do. I really try to listen, and I really do try to figure out what is the best fit, for the client and what they're wanting to do.
Absolutely. Amy Lunt, owner of Fine Outing, and independent agency in the Avoya Network, is our exclusive Meet the Network guest this week. Kind of a preview for Travel Advisor Appreciation Month coming up in May. Amy, what are you hearing about from your clients this spring? Are they excited for summer travel? Are they scared at all? What kind of things are they talking about when you're on the phone with them?
Yeah, they're excited. Definitely, a lot of people are really wanting to travel, and I feel like all different ages are wanting to travel. It's really exciting. I do feel like some of the places are getting, like the Rome and the um Santorini, the really popular places are kind of getting pretty crowded, and that's a little bit off-putting, I think, to some people. But I think, there are so many of the suppliers are looking for different places to take people and to have people travel in, and so that's exciting. And to be able to, yeah, send people to places off the beaten path is um is really, I think, what they want. They want to kind of get immersed in the culture and get to places that other people haven't been.
For sure. I mean, you want to cover the tried and true, right? I mean, you can't go to
Oh
Rome
yeah.
and not see the Colosseum, not go see the Vatican, not be in awe of, the chapel and then things like that. But at the same time, you do not want to just feel like you're another number amongst millions of people. So it is finding that balance. And that's why a great travel advisor like Amy can certainly help clients kind of cut through all of that clutter. Um, Amy, now that you've been in the trenches of our industry for the last 4 years, any advice you might offer to somebody that's just at that starting phase? I mean, take yourself back to March 2020, pandemic not involved, but any advice you might offer somebody who's at that starting phase?
um Well, just stick with it. And there's so much to know and learn, and you can't learn it all in a day. So you have to, pace yourself and really just keep at it, and you can make it work. Um but yeah, not every day is fun, but it is a fun job, and it is and there's a lot of great things about, being in the travel industry for sure. And so you just stick with it.
For sure. Good advice there. What about you, Amy? What kind of fun things do you like to do when you get a chance to step away from the office and just get out and explore yourself?
Well, we yeah, we really like to travel. Our family loves travel. We and so that's probably the number one thing we love to go and do and spend time on. We love to play pickleball and hike, and I love to work in my yard. I love plants and flowers, and so that's something I do in my spare time.
When you were growing up, Amy, was travel something that was important to you and your family, or when did that travel bug kick in for you kind of personally?
Well, when my family growing up, we just did a lot of trips to the beach in California and then some back east, but mainly within the United States. And then even with our young children, my husband and I, even though we wanted to travel, um, we felt like with little kids it was tricky. Um, which I think has kind of changed. It seems like this next generation is just taking their little kids, which is great. But anyway, but as our kids got older, we thought, oh, it would actually be fun to take them, to Europe or somewhere cool. And so we have done a lot more with them and traveled a lot with them as they've been, teenagers and now adults. And so that's probably, I think the travel bug's always been there, but we've definitely done a lot more in the last, 10 to 15 years.
Any trips that kind of really stand out as that big wow moment that maybe even now as you're, gathering for Thanksgiving and Christmas that always kind of comes up in conversation amongst everybody?
Oh, yeah. Well, we loved Morocco. We felt like it was, like walking through a TV or movie set. um I'm trying to think. I mean, yeah, there's just so many. I mean, Italy, we've been to Italy a few times, and we've loved seeing lots of different parts of Italy, and the tried and true stuff, but also, off the beaten path. That's been really fun. And Greece. Anyway, there's so many places that we've been so lucky to travel, but also there's just so many more places that are on our list to go. So
So that's my next question. I'm going to hit you up for one on the list. Where's the one place that you've always dreamed of that you hope that you get to at some point in your life?
probably New Zealand is at the top of the list. But yeah, the list is long, but
Isn't
New
it
Zealand
always?
probably top.
Absolutely. No, I think anytime a couple of travel professionals get together, the list of where they've been and where they want to go is almost equally as long. So,
Yeah.
Amy, just a few more before we go, but I first wanted to make sure that maybe we haven't missed anything or something that you think is vital to telling your story about you and your agency or your connection with Avoya Travel that you'd like to bring out before we wrap up today.
Yeah, one thing that really surprised me about this job is how many great people I would meet. And the whole Avoya family, I mean, they just are all so supportive of each other and kind, and they'll answer questions. And I mean, it doesn't matter if they work for Avoya or they're an IA or ILA. There's just so many people out there. Well, and even some of the BDMs that I've gotten to know are just so helpful, and they'll just go out of their way to help you. And I've just made great friends, and that just was something I didn't really expect to be part of this job.
What a cool exclamation point to share with us. All right, time for the big final question. Now, given your time as a travel professional and your assessment of the future of our industry, what it boils down to, Amy, are you excited about the future of leisure travel?
Yes, yeah, I definitely think it's going in the right direction, and things are exciting. Yeah, suppliers are really trying to find different cool things for people to go see and do. And yeah, it's the travel world seems to be going in the right direction for sure.
Great to hear. Amy Lunt, everyone, owner of Fine Outings and independent agency in the Avoya Network. Amy, thanks so much for your time and that wonderful and inspiring conversation.
Thank you, Chris. It's been nice to be here.
Absolutely. Our pleasure to have you as our guest. Next week, the official launch of Travel Advisor Appreciation Month as we welcome in Jeffrey Blanchett, owner of Tonic Travel LLC, an independent agency in the Avoya Network, and our exclusive Meet the Network guest. That's next Thursday. We can't wait to share Jeffrey's story and details on his fantastic agency. A couple of things I do want to cover include our military discount that we've gotten still ongoing for both those that are active and retired, the veterans themselves and their spouses, taking $100 off the curriculum at the Avoya Travel Academy, or if they're just ready to affiliate with Avoya Travel and meet those qualifications, happy to take $100 off the affiliation fee to join the Avoya Network as well. AvoyaNetwork.com is the place to get that information, get connected with somebody on my team. They're more than happy to explain all of those details. If you're new to the industry and you're looking for that leg up, I'm telling you, the award-winning Avoya Travel Academy, win, win, win. And of course, I always say think like a pro. They've got several packages there, the basic, the essential, the pro, tailored to you and your needs. So again, check that out. Find out all the information there. AvoyaNetwork.com has a great deal of information on the Avoya Travel Academy. And once you're through the academy and able to affiliate with the Avoya Network, you can start to take advantage of those resources that Amy and I were talking about today. Our agent powered technology. Wow, the best in the industry, no doubt about that. Our marketing resource center, again, so far best in class. I mean, it's not even a race. We lapped the competition 3 and 4 times at least on that one. Same thing with agency support, always and will be a cornerstone resource offered by Avoya Travel. So again, find out the difference and see how it really can set you free. That's what it says right there. Professional freedom, Avoya Travel, AvoyaNetwork.com. Get those details. Give us a follow on social media. We're just about everywhere. I mean, the team has done an amazing job of having us up on TikTok and Pinterest. And of course, we've been on Facebook and LinkedIn, and all of our episodes are archived on YouTube. So certainly give us a follow there, Avoya Travel Network on social media. And of course, there's always the normal ways of reaching out. I love getting those emails at chris.green@avoyatravel.com. Feel free to reach out by phone. The number's there. AvoyaNetwork.com. I know I say it time and time again because that's really where the bulk of information and the best way for you to get started, get connected with somebody on the team, ask your questions, hear our story, see if it's a good fit, see if together we can't put together this shared success platform that Avoya Travel is known for. Big thank you again to my guest, Amy Lunt, today. Great job by Annabella from Trade Marketing and producing this week's segment. Thank you for being part of On Deck with Avoya. Until next week, when we formally kick off Travel Advisor Appreciation Month, take care, my friend.